One of my worst fears in relations to working remotely on the road has come to fruition. Not real excited about that. Let's talk about it. My name is David. This is RV Family.Life. Lived on the road for over 2.5 years with my wife Tanya, our 2 girls, Kaylin and Kira, and our dog Daisy. I'm able to work remotely thanks to my job. It affords me the ability to keep on working without having to go into the office. It's an absolute blessing. But there's always been a fear of catastrophic equipment failure, and that has finally come true. Today's adventure starts 7,500 feet above the ocean on a highway in Colorado, as I have to drive over 100 miles to go and get something fixed. Can't go into too much detail, but just to let you know, something broke. I needed to go and get it hopefully fixed so that I can keep on working. This isn't the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario could have been far worse. So thankfully, only having to go one way 100 miles to get this resolved, not too bad. But here we go. Let's go on this adventure together. Join me! Shall you? Sorry, Adam the Woo. I'm a huge fan. A little bit further on the journey, went about another, 70 miles or so. 4,900 feet. Yeah, the town is Debeque. I know that's not right. Debeque. Let me know if you know how to spell that. Basically on my way to Grand Junction to get things fixed up and taken care of so I can keep working. The drive is beautiful, and I'm planning to share some of this with you. I don't know what it's called yet. I'll try to find the name of this area. It's kind of like Glenwood Canyon. Not quite as dramatic, but it's still an exciting drive. You definitely got to slow down for the turns as you're heading into Grand Junction from the east on Interstate 70. It just follows along with the Grand River. I'll talk more about the Grand River in a little bit here, because you're probably like, what's the Grand River? Probably getting confused. Well, I want to elaborate on that. It's kind of cool. I like the history of the Grand River. So, talking about worst fears, it was a worst fear for me to have equipment failure while 1,100 miles away from my office. You know, if the equipment completely failed, and we do have some proprietary equipment that I would have to get from my home office in the San Antonio area. So it was on the table that when things started going catastrophically wrong, that we may have to drive to San Antonio, like right now, to get some equipment replacement so that I can continue to work remotely on the road. That wasn't enticing. I'm very thankful that it wasn't that bad. But for today, I was able to get an appointment to get things fixed in the afternoon, and I was going to leave 2 hours beforehand, but then I read a story that Tuesday, September 17th, another one of my absolute worst fears happened on Interstate 70 in Glenwood Canyon. Glenwood Canyon is one of our absolute favorite drives in all of America. We've made a video dedicated to Glenwood Canyon. In fact, I will put a link if you're watching on your laptop up here somewhere. I'll put a link down in the description. And when you finish this video, I'll even drop a clickable link that you can use from the TV to watch our review of Glenwood Canyon, the drive, because it is gorgeous. So, on Tuesday, the 17th of September, an 18-wheeler was driving westbound on the upper deck bridge, and it crashed through the wall and came crashing down onto the eastbound lower deck, just blocking traffic, causing all kinds of horrible traffic, people having to reroute drastically out of their way to avoid this. And that is another one of my absolute worst fears. So thinking about my 100-mile drive today to Grand Junction, and I thought, you know, leaving exactly 2 hours to drive 100 miles before my appointment may not be the best use of my time. Maybe I should leave earlier, just in the off chance that something so crazy and catastrophic actually does happen. If I get there with plenty of time, hey, I've been wanting to get my hair touched up at a barbershop, or, you know, cost cutters or something. There's things I could do if I make it nice and early. So it just seemed like it made a lot of sense to go ahead and get out of the RV, get on the road, make sure that I make it to my appointment on time. Because if I don't, could have to do this all over again another day. All right, on to the next step. Hopefully it's Grand Junction. All right, y'all, I got the Grand Junction. I got everything fixed as far as my work computer goes. Brought everything with me, my laptop, so that I could actually validate it before driving 100 miles back to the RV. And it did. It got fixed. Everything's working. So now I can drive back home and get back to work. Can you imagine if the equipment had failed so bad that I had to drive all the way back to San Antonio? Or possibly even fly, just based on where I'm at? This is one of those things that comes along with the full-time RV life when you're working remote like this. You've got to be prepared for these things that pop up, and they're unexpected, unpleasant, and you need to make sure you're ready. That includes making sure that you've got enough money to handle something like that if it were to jump up and bite you all of a sudden. So thankfully this only turned out to be a 100-mile drive one way. It's some extra diesel I didn't really want to pay for, and maybe a little bit of food on the road, such as that. But made the best of it, had a little fun. I enjoyed driving through the canyon. I hope that you all enjoy some of the videos of me driving through the canyon. Now I'm gonna head back with a stop at Walmart for anything that showed up on the grocery list in my absence at home. By the early 19th century, fur trappers were calling this river the Grand River. The source of that name was unknown, but it connects with a lot of other rivers like the Gunnison River, Blue River, or the North Fork of the Grand River. By the early 1900s, the name Grand River had been attached to the entire stream as far as Grand Lake, which was then considered its official source. Although the Grand River was renamed the Colorado in 1921, its name survives in numerous places such as Grand County and Grand Junction, Colorado. And let's not forget the giant canyon that it also made, the Grand Canyon. All that was from the Grand River. The Colorado River was renamed because people in Colorado felt like nobody cared about them. Nobody wanted to come to Colorado. Can you imagine that? Nobody wanting to come to Colorado? Now you've got places like Rocky Mountain National Park that it seems like a lot of people have it on their radar to come to Colorado. But the Grand River was renamed the Colorado River to draw attention to the state of Colorado. I always thought that was quite interesting. I love historical stuff like that. just absolutely love the drive back. Just drive through anywhere. Interstate 70, period now. Between Grand Junction and really Denver. Got to be one of the most epic drives in the United States. Absolutely beautiful. I also noticed that the name of the highway is the Grand Army of the Republic. Cracks me up as a Star Wars fan because that's a phrase that was used in Star Wars. You may not be a Star Wars fan, no big deal. However, it's another reference to the word grand, in reference to the Colorado River / Grand River. And in the town of Parachute, there was a Grand River Resort. So, a lot of uses still going on of the word Grand River. I love that. Just such an epic drive. Right now I am at the Walmart in Rifle, Colorado. On my way back home, picking up some last groceries. There's no Walmarts in the town where we stay. So you got to kind of take advantage of, making those long drives to stock up on stuff. There is a Family Dollar and a grocery store that's there. Everything tends to be, let's just say, $1 more per item. So driving 40 miles to a Walmart, which is 80 miles round trip, you waste a lot of diesel. So it typically just is a little more cost effective to pay a little bit extra to stay in town. But when you're already going somewhere, to fix a work-related problem. So I've included all this driving footage today. Just kind of curious, what does everybody think? What does everybody feel? How are you liking the driving footage? It may not necessarily blend in with, always talking about RV life or talking about mobile internet on the road, but I've got an idea. I'm thinking about maybe starting another YouTube channel that's literally just driving down the road and maybe having some cool music to it. Let me know your thoughts on that. You can maybe give me some input, some pros, some cons. I'd like to hear it. Daisy. Hi, Daisy. Good girl. I made it back home. I'm here. I'm home. My family is excited to see me. Brought home some goodies for everybody. The job is done. I can get back to work like I need to. But yeah, I did it. It's been a day. And I guess the vlog is over. Don't forget, life happens. Don't let it stop you.
Stay fresh, cheese bags.